here at Robbie Turkish, mate. It's looking really, really nice. Thank you very much to the guys at Wolves for giving us access to the stadium today. Really appreciate that. But looking forward to this game, Turkish. This is massive.
It's been a little while, hasn't it, Rob?
It's been a little while, man. I mean, I've forgotten what football's all about. We've hardly had a game, but can't wait to get stuck into this one. And it's always a great atmosphere in this stadium.
Yeah. And January was a bit of a letdown for us, both on the pitch and off the pitch. So we need this game to kind of come back and get our minds off what we didn't do in January.
100%. So what we wanted to do in this video was just take a look at the starting 11, the predicted starting 11 for this game, because make no mistake about it, Wolves are a very good side. They're just below us in the league. They've been playing some brilliant football. I think they've got one of the best defensive records in the league.
Yeah.
You know, only conceded 16 goals in 21 games. So this is going to be a tough game. So Turkish, it all comes down to this, mate. It's been a long time since we played, but we're going to be here at Molineux, and this is going to be a tough ask. They're a very, very good side.
Solid. You
were saying earlier, defensively really good. I think only conceded 16 goals in 21 games. They're a good team, man. Got some very good players. I'm glad Adama Traore is no longer here, because he always used to give us issues. But you know, a good side, and this is a big test for Arsenal. And we're going to have to get the starting 11 right.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, defensively they've been solid. 16 goals conceded at this point of the season. You've got to give credit where credit's due. Wolves is a funny one. They went through a bit of a transition after Nuno and whatnot, but it seemed like they're through the other end and reaping the rewards of I guess good recruitment. You look at the game and Wolves are coming in a better place than Arsenal are, and that's the problem for me.
Although they did have that loss at the weekend, that's the only thing I'd look at as a positive. I mean, their manager got manager of the month in January. Not too sure if that's a positive, because remember Arteta got manager of the month. And then there's a lot of managers that get manager of the month. I think Nuno Espirito Santo, remember, he got manager of the month at Tottenham. And then look, you know what I mean? So it's not always the greatest of things to win that award, but he got manager of the month. They had a great January. But then just that little chink, man, going out of the FA Cup to Norwich, I think that was really unexpected here. I think, you know, that if you looked at their team that day, they had a pretty strong team out, and probably only Jimenez didn't start, you know, and they didn't beat Norwich. So that maybe puts a little doubt. I don't know.
No, of course it can, Rob. I mean, listen, good form is one thing, but when you have a little break in between, you know, that 2-week break, things can change. And Wolves have returned from that 2-week break, albeit good form in January, but they've been knocked out the FA Cup, one of their chances at a trophy this season. So it depends on how they react to that. Do they, you know, get back on the ball and come back and perform, or do they get their heads put down and, you know, come laboured?
And I heard Arteta saying that, you know, the break has been unbelievable. It's almost been like a pre-season. So hopefully those players are going to come back in fresh. At least we need them to, because some of the football that we saw in January weren't good enough. So we need them to come in. But let's take a look at what we think will be the predicted starting 11 based off of what we think Arteta will probably do.
And the players we have registered.
And the players we got left. No Aubameyang. That's what we don't have to argue about that one no more. Will Aubameyang start? Chambers is gone. Yeah, I mean, a lot of players are gone. But all right, goalkeeper.
Ramsdale. Picks itself.
Leno's still here.
Yeah, but, surprisingly.
But Ramsdale definitely will start.
Yeah.
Right back is going to be the really interesting position. There's been a lot of doubt about Tomiyasu. You see how much we missed him when he was out. Cedric's available again. He had a bit of I think it was a hip injury.
Yeah.
But apparently he's fit and ready to go. But Mikel Arteta saying in his press conference that, you know, Tomiyasu's been training.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and training hard. So,
He did say, you know, we have to be careful with him, but all signs sound good to me. I think he will
17 games left. If he's ready, I mean, you know, Ben White called him world class recently. That's how good he's been for us.
Has to be Tommy.
You think he'll go with him from the start?
This is a massive game for us. That 0-0 at Burnley, like I said, it kind of deflated us. You know, FA Cup and League Cup are one thing, but the top 4 race and that 0-0 deflated us. So we need to really win this game today.
Yeah,
I mean tomorrow night, Rob.
Yeah. So all right, Tomiyasu. I think it's got to be Tomiyasu, and then Ben White.
Yep.
Goes without question. There's not a lot of backup there, is there? But Ben White. And then, of course, Gabriel.
Definitely.
Again, those two will be fresh, and it's going to be really important because they're going to be up against a really good Jimenez great in the air, good player, holds the ball up brilliantly. Them two are going to have to be really on it, aren't they?
100%. I mean, it's good we've got our starting centre-back partnership there. At times this season they've looked solid. It's just like you said, it's a bit light. So we hope that they remain fit for the rest of the season because it's Holding behind them. And you know what I think about Holding. So
yeah, Holding's a good backup though, but we want those two predominantly playing. So, and really the only backup is Holding.
That's it.
Because it's no Murray, no Chambers. They're gone.
Even Omar Rekik went out on loan, I think.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting if...
Where's Austin Trusty?
Yeah, we might need him, right? We might have to get him sooner. All right, left back, Kieran Tierney, surely.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the break would have done him well.
Yeah.
Because he looked very jaded in that last game against Burnley.
He did.
So, yeah, the break will have done it. You never know if some of them players maybe sort of been on the other end of COVID and things like that. I don't know, man. Some of them players just looked a bit, drained out. But, yeah, Kieran Tierney we expect to be back. Moving to the midfield now. Now, this is interesting. Obviously, during January, one of our big problems was the midfield. We had a midfield crisis where we were having to play Charlie Patino. We were having to, make shift in that midfield.
Light.
You know what I mean? Lokonga played. But... two players are back. Xhaka is back.
What do you want me to say, Rob?
What do you want me to say? Even though he's had his failings and that, it is a lot more solid when he's in there, isn't it? If he stays on the pitch.
Well, so I've heard. Listen, don't get me wrong. Listen, right now I'd pick Xhaka too because Lokonga for me doesn't seem ready. Albeit I think at his age he should be, he should be ready.
Well, I like Lokonga. I think, let's remember it's his first season.
True,
so he's getting there, you know what I mean? I think we won't see the best of him till next season, but I think I like him. I like what I've seen, but in a game like this, you can see that stand over there, that's going to be buzzing. We know this place, Turkish, right? You want experience in there.
Experience, yeah.
Yeah, Xhaka has got to... it was very interesting, again, Mikel Arteta in his press conference talking about the fact that how many games they had to play with 10 men.
Yeah.
Xhaka owes the fans, he owes a big performance to teammates as well and manager. He's got to make sure he stays on this pitch and that puts in a disciplined performance. 100%. But he's back, and Thomas Partey's back as well.
Yeah, and someone who picked up form this season at points, but someone who let us down last game. It's not all on him because, you look at the club, bringing a player straight into a League Cup semi-final from Cameroon is not the best platform to give. But
that's how desperate we were, though. We had to do that, So, but Thomas Partey, so you'd expect Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey, Odegaard's in front of them.
Yeah, I think
he's been playing well. And then let's then take a look at the front three.
This is where it gets a bit interesting because of the options we have left.
Well, as I said, there's no discussing Aubameyang, right, because he's no longer at the club. So Martinelli, left-hand side, or Smith Rowe. Remember,
that's what I was thinking. If you're asking me, I want to see...
Smith Rowe's fresh now.
Yeah. If you're asking me, I want to see something different because we've seen a lack of goals from the strikers that we've got, Eddie and Laka. I'd like to see Emil Smith Rowe on the left, which allows us to play Martinelli somewhere else, which we'll get into.
All right. Well, tell us what you'd like to see then. That front three. What would you like to see?
Smith Rowe left, Martinelli up top, and Saka on the right.
Okay.
Haven't seen it, so...
Yeah. I think... I really want to get Smith Rowe into this team as well, but...
Laka was made captain in the press conference as well, so obviously he's going to start.
He's going to be the captain from now till the end of the season. I think I'd start him anyway. I think his hold-up play away from home is invaluable.
Beneficial, yeah.
Right, and I really do think that's going to be important in a game like this, up against a team that we know, as we've been discussing, that are so good defensively. I think Lacazette's got to start. Martinelli and Saka, I guess, you know what I mean? But I really want to get... Smith Rowe's our leading goal scorer.
Yeah.
We've got to get him into the side more. We've got to get him into the side somehow. But I just think for balance-wise in this game, a game that obviously we want to win, but we definitely don't want to make sure we don't lose this game.
Yeah.
I'd go with Laka from the start, and then you can get his Smith Rowe. Do you think Smith Rowe could end up being a player that plays a false number 9?
Potentially.
In Mikel Arteta's press conference, he was suggesting that could be a thing.
Potentially, but I'm worried that it's Mikel Arteta that would be implementing that. And if it's a Pep Guardiola, you listen to a man like that, you trust a man like that with false nines or with whatever he does. But I think, you know, when it comes to young, inexperienced managers, it's a massive risk. You need to have all your cogs in place for a false nine in the
He's
mold.
a confident guy, Arteta.
He is. Let's hope that confidence reaps rewards in the near future, because it hasn't done yet. Yes, the FA Cup, but 2 8th place finishes. We need a good end to this season. So hopefully that confidence translates into good performances.
Yeah, and listen, you've got to say Wolves are one of them teams going for the top 4. If they were to beat us tomorrow, they'd go above us. Let's remember that.
Yep.
But then Arsenal opportunity, if we could win this game or even at least get a point, it's a difficult place to come to. I think that would represent a decent result, because especially with Man United dropping a couple of points against Burnley as well. So it's a huge game. So let me just run through that starting 11 again that we think will play. It's going to be, we think will be Ramsdale in goal, a back 4 of Tomiyasu. We think he'll make it back. Ben White, Gabriel, Tierney, a midfield of Xhaka, Thomas Partey and Odegaard, and then a front 3 of Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left and Lacazette down the middle. And with a bit of firepower on the bench, you can bring off a Pepe, you can bring Eddie Nketiah's on the bench. You've got Smith Rowe on the bench, you know what I mean? So, listen, Eddie, I was saying this the other day to Lee, we were doing a podcast. It's now or never. The time for talking is over. The time for I don't get to start. He's going to get game time from now till the end of the season. He has to deliver when he comes on. This is a big moment for him.
Yep.
Let's see how he reacts, you know what I mean? If he reacts positively, it'd be great for the club.
Yeah, either way, he needs to do something, because it's either for a contract at Arsenal or it's a contract after Arsenal, because this summer he's free, so it's time to start, you know, kicking into gear.
Okay, once again, thanks to the guys at Wolves for allowing us pitch side. It's a beauty. You can see the surface there. It's absolutely beautiful. Can't wait for this game. Arsenal coming to Molineux to take on Wolves. Massive, massive game. Then we play them again in a couple of weeks' time. Can't wait.